Hello, family of faith. During this time of separation, there are still some things that we can do together, and one of them is reading the Bible. Now, I know that reading the Bible, that is an intimidating thought. Part of that is because the Bible is so intimidating. Let me give you a quick example. There was a couple that was renovating a house here locally, and they brought 5 beautiful Bibles by the church. They were renovating, and they brought these. Here's 2 of them. Look at this. They got gold leaf on them, and look at these over here. Can you see these 3 big Bibles? They brought them to the church office, and they said, "We don't know what to do with these. We don't want to throw them out. They're beautiful and holy. We don't know what to do with them." So they gave them to me, and here 3 or 4 years later, I still don't know what to do with them. So here they are, here remain in our church library, because again, the Bible's intimidating. Another thing that's intimidating about the Bible is the fact that sometimes we feel like we need to know something about the Bible before we even read it. And part of that's because look at all of these commentaries that have been written about the Bible. And here in our Pew Bible, one of them is the letter of 1 Peter. And look at this thing. The first letter that Peter wrote there, it's only front and back here, 5 pages, right? Simple enough. I looked back here and look what I found. I found a commentary on just 1 Peter itself. This thing is almost 1,000 pages, 958 pages. Do I need to know all of this in order to understand that little book? There's even another book on 1 Peter that's a little bit smaller. I think I can handle this little fella more than this one. That's not the only commentary that is written about Peter, even in our church library here. This one includes not only insights on 1st and 2nd Peter, but also James, John, and Jude. More that we have to read, I guess. Here's another one. Do we need to know all of this stuff on 1 Peter in order to understand those first 5 chapters, or those 5 pages of Peter that we've got in our little Bible? Another thing that's intimidating about our Bible is that when we decide, I am going to read the Bible, this is the day that we're going to start doing this, sometimes you just don't know where to begin. Do we start at the very beginning? Or do we start with the New Testament? Or do we just close our eyes and kind of say, all right, here, we're going to start with Psalm 41. Is that the way that we're supposed to do it? Well, we don't know. And sometimes the best way of reading the Bible is to do it together and in small incremental doses. And that's what we're going to do over this time together in the coming days. What I'd like to post is just about 5 minutes each day on a couple insights into the major stories of the Bible. One thing that I hope this will do is that as we go through the Bible, that you will ultimately be reminded of why it's so holy, special, and sacred. A few years ago, I was with a church group, and we decided that we were going to undertake this curriculum program called Read the Bible in 30 Days. And we all agreed to do that. We met weekly as we read each day huge chunks of the Bible. We were just flying through there, and I remember just being overwhelmed by this task and all the stuff that's included in the Bible. But one thing that I do remember about that time together is the fact that at the end of it, I noticed that there was an arc to the story. That as overwhelming as the Bible was, there was an overall arc and purpose to the Bible. And that's what we're going to start with tomorrow, with Genesis as the reminder of God's creation. That God didn't just snap God's fingers and boom, there it was. Whatever happened, it happened. We remember that God carefully created the world, so much so that on that 7th day, God rested. There was so much peace, so much love that God didn't have to do anything. There was that much harmony in the world. And as we read the Bible, and as you fly through the Bible and are reminded of the stories of the Bible, you remember that that's ultimately where we are being led to that time of being surrounded by God's love, God's peace, God's grace, that comfort. So, as we especially remember in this time of anxiety and uncertainty, we're going to start with the creation story and remember that seventh day. And think about that seventh day. Think of the beauty of creation. Think of some of the glorious places in nature that you have been. Think of the abundance of God's creation, the plants, the animals, all that we are given for sustenance. And then when we think of the love of our lives, when we think of the love of others that we so cherish, and we think of the love of God, that is the creation that God has given to us. That is the gift that we have been given. So as we read our Bibles together over the coming days, I hope that each one of us will be reminded of our mission as people of faith. We are to indeed bring about God's world of peace, God's world of joy and forgiveness and comfort. And we are to do it, as Jesus said, bring it right here and now on earth as it is in heaven. So thank you for sharing this sacred endeavor together. And I look forward to reading your thoughts and your insights over the coming days and the weeks. And I hope that you will post them right below in the comments section, right underneath this video as we journey through this Bible together. So God's grace and peace to each one of you. I look forward to starting this with all of you tomorrow.